I'm sulking.
Why are you
Officially.
sulking?
We'll come back to that. Have we got a visitor? Solomon, could you come back in about 30 minutes, please? Ask your mum, will you take care of business for a moment?
Yes,
there?
just excuse me.
And I will do a proper introduction to a very authentic and this is the new reality here in the Munson household. A child has just come into the room. Mum's sorting it out. I'd like to welcome you with my whole heart to the Munsons moment, the moment with the Munsons here on New Reality TV. Wow. Right. So that was quite a rambunctious and awkward start to the show today.
Yeah.
Should we unpack that?
Well,
yes. Go back to my sulking first.
I think we should go. I think we should go back a little bit further.
What about me?
So this could be the show. What about me?
What about
me show? Because that actually started before we started the show. That started about 15 minutes before when you thought the dog escaped.
Yes.
And Carl legged it out like some kind of action hero on a mission. Swearing. Yeah. Not very much. Well, you were in the moment of rescuing the dog.
I was completely in the moment of terror, anger, frustration.
It was the anger that I was.
There was a lot going on in that moment.
And I was thinking, okay, well, I need to just still myself because I might be doing a chat show for one.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, okay, well, what would I do? What would I talk about? Yeah. And I had quite a few different ideas come up. So
you went to resourcefulness.
Yeah. I mean, that was very useful, actually.
I thought to myself as well, if I'm out looking for the dog for the next hour, Louisa's got this. So I was sending those vibes as well. And then just before we started the show, I thought we'd agreed that you were going to do the start. And then you say, oh, no, you do the start. And then you say to me, oh, you've got to, and you tell me that I need to do it. And then you tell me how to do it, which is quite annoying. But I'm not really sulking.
Well, that's about trust as well, isn't it?
Having shared it, I am so over it now.
Well, we are kind of a bit like a pilot and co-pilot. Only we're both the kind of co-pilots.
Yes.
I love that. Hey, good to know you have a life too. We really do have a real life, Deb. We are a real life husband and wife with all of whatever that means.
If we don't go viral for our content, we can go viral for the couple who had the kid come in at the beginning of the show, which does is very attractive to people who spend a lot of time online. We most certainly have a life. And we've got 3 children who all need help and a dog that escaped before the show, another little dog, and a cat that won't get off the chair when you're trying to do the show. All of life is here.
And people cutting us off with our water mid-show.
And that was last week, wasn't it? And this is the point. This isn't a sanitized, abstract, conceptualized approach to life in the new reality. This is how we live our lives, such as they are. With a little bit of added insight or with a little bit of extra support and a little bit more collaboration. It's not either or. If I may make, sound a little bit, I don't know what, preachy or whatever, but it really is a good point. And you're going with what is also always very useful. That's what's happening this morning. And this show is about coming into the moment. Yeah. And so with all that's gone on, we have a space now. The reason why we have a door and don't normally have kids running around in the background here is to honor and create a space, hold a space. And sometimes it doesn't work. And if it doesn't, it's fine. And if it does, great. Yeah. Which means that now we have kind of created a space in which, it's midday.
Yeah.
The lights are on, the microphones are ready. We've pressed start. Deb's here. Other people are here as well. Please say hello.
Yeah.
And now is the time to come into the moment.
Oh, Joe Delaney's here. I'm hoping,
naughty, isn't it?
I'm hoping.
We can't take that on right now, Joseph. A nude show.
We do that in other rooms.
Enough challenge already.
Joe, I'd love it if you could come and join us one day on our show. It would be amazing if you can. That would be fantastic. It goes out to New Reality TV, a new startup, I guess a channel that's all the content is about enlightening, awakening, and also just having fun, creating possibilities, having lots of fun and having a good sense of community. So you'd be an amazing addition.
But I will have to be in the other chair where I'm near the bleep button. Is that right? When Mr. Delaney is with us, if I remember rightly. He gets very passionate, a bit like me when the dog escaped this morning.
Yeah.
So be delighted to have you here. Happy New Year, Oh, node year now.
Oh yes, it's a node year.
That's evolving in front of our eyes.
It is true. It is true. The nodes changed last week.
Oh yeah, of course. North Node. Your North Node video has been hugely popular on YouTube.
Yeah, 44,000 views.
But Deb,
rising.
Joseph actually said nude year.
Yeah,
not node year. Those videos are also very popular. I understand.
We don't put them on YouTube though.
No, not of us. Oh, okay, all right. Oh. Should we come into the moment?
Yeah.
Right. Let's feel the weight of our bodies on the chair, shall we? Yes. I could do with this.
I need this as well, actually.
Yeah, okay, so I've got I can feel that not only have I got my hand around a mouse, this kind, not
Joe,
not squeaky.
How's tomorrow? Fancy coming on tomorrow?
See you tomorrow, Joe.
Same time tomorrow.
Can't get more in the moment than that, can you? An in the moment invitation, right? I've got my hand over this mouse, and I can not only conceptually relate to the fact that I've got some technology in my hand, but there's an object in my hand, and I can connect with it on that real basis, not what it means, not what it can do, but how it is. So maybe you could do the same thing. Feel your body on the chair. If your hand is resting on your lap or the chair, be aware of the basic sensory information, not the meanings. So the pressure of the clothes on the skin, the weight of the body on the chair, the breeze on the face.
Feeling myself flush up.
The head, the blood in the face, blood in the other parts of the body. Whatever's going on for you right now in this moment of sensory reality, please just be aware of it. That's all that's required, or all that's being suggested. That's what the invitation is. And to me, to us, I think that's quite a good way of coming into this moment now. Let the ideas, let the thoughts, let the stress, as much as is possible, go into the background, far away, further away, and come into this moment of putting your awareness on the body on the chair, pressure of the clothes on the skin, the sound. Don't even listen too tightly or closely to what I'm saying. Hear sounds. Hear Carl going ma 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 in your ears. And if you've got your eyes shut, for example, you might see lights and shapes. Just be aware of the sensory information. And if you can, as you come back into the room, keep that opened, broadened awareness and not be too specific.
I loved that. Do you know what? I'm feeling really in the moment because I'm feeling quite giggly, you know, like seeing Joe, chatting with Deb and, you know, laughing about our morning. To me, that's just like brought the color back to my cheeks. Yeah. Joe's not, he's not free tomorrow, but it was great actually to,
make his acquaintance or reacquaint.
Yes. Yeah. Let us know when you are. I'd love for you to come. Because he's unfortunately not free tomorrow. We're joined by Donna, who I know loves a good laugh and a good chuckle. And
pauses between activities, comes into the moment, connects with the senses. I'm sure you're very capable of doing that, Donna, and maybe you are doing that.
And we got a lovely wavy hand from Cosmic Girl 101 from Australia. So that's really cool. I love you know, the fact that we can sort of all connect in. One of the things that I'm thinking about in terms of pauses and then starting again, and this is obviously where I always come back to because, you know, I'm an astrologer, and that is the phases of the moon. And, you know, Debs has already mentioned nodes, changing in the moon's nodes. So, you know, I'm always really thinking about the cycles of life, and I flushed up a bit there. That might be because of my age. But, you know, I was really thinking about like the cycles of life and, you know, the gratitude for actually being in this body, going through changes, getting to a certain age, and just recognizing, you know, that we've got this experience a bit like, you know, the sun rises, you know, we are born, and then we go through our whole life or a whole day, and then we come to night and then we kind of refresh, and, you know, that whole cycle. So the feeling of the cycle was what really helped me. And then you going wah, wah, wah in the background.
That made you laugh, yeah. Me droning on.
Yeah, and for a moment when I was thinking about how hot I was feeling and how hot and sweaty I was feeling in just that like flush, I actually then my mind took me to a place where I was hot and sweaty on a beach and just feeling really, really relaxed.
You reframed. You allowed your actual sensory state right now, your physiological state, to determine your mind rather than the other way around. That's interesting, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you were talking, I was feeling euphoric, you know, because we've been laughing about this morning and the calamity that is our life, and the joy
steady.
I mean, it's also joyful.
It was in those moments.
Yeah. And so I'm feeling euphoric. You're kind of sort of inviting us to feel, I think, freer in our bodies, and to relax. And I was sort of taken back to this kind of important moment in time. There was nothing really going on, but I'd left home a couple of days before. I'd had this is a bit of a cosmic story. Maybe we can look at this in
What's
this.
happening? What's happening?
Sorry, I'm going with the flow.
Right.
But so I was 18. I was due to go to university, and then I had a dream, and I woke up in the morning and just knew I needed to go to France. Like you do. And that actually my fine art degree was going to have to wait. And
are they still waiting for you?
Yes, it's still waiting for me.
Do you want to apologise to the college now? Because I don't think you've done that yet.
No, I didn't.
It's about time to clean up.
I never did it.
Could you complete and clean this up, please?
Yeah, okay. I did actually not reapply, which is what I was invited to do.
So they'll assume you weren't interested.
Yeah. So anyway, I kind of ditched the idea of fine art, but I woke up in the morning with this really strong knowing that I needed to be in France. And so you can imagine what it was like the next day. I said to my parents, just to let you know, I'm going to France. And they were like, you what? Because I'd never lived away from home. I was due to go to university, and they were a bit surprised by that. But I had such a strong knowing.
Just imagine your dad.
Yeah, I know.
Like drinking his tea. Yeah, okay. What? Going where?
And so they said, okay, well, and this is clever because they were trying to outwit me. They said, well, you've got our permission to go to France if you can support yourself. So you'll need.
You'd thought ahead though, I think.
No, I hadn't.
Actually, not.
No. So they said you'll need at least, like enough money to keep you going for a month or so. And they did ask, like, what are you going to do? And I said, I don't know, really don't know, but I'm going to wander and see where.
They must have been so delighted to hear that.
Yes.
No plan, just going to go and wander in France.
Yeah, yes. Their eldest daughter.
Bye, darling. Have a lovely time.
Yeah. And so I what happened was I was really excited. That's before the panic set in. And I walked around to my grandma's house and said, Nan, guess what? I'm going to France. And my Nan just instantly provided me with a wedge of cash, and not loads. I mean, it was I think about 150 pounds. Thank you, Nan. Which really
a lot of money in them days.
It was quite a lot of money.
Right.
This is like 32 years ago. And yeah, so I went home, I said goodbye to a couple of people, and then I packed this ridiculously small Adidas bag.
Like you would,
now, if you were packing to go somewhere, and to go off on this like life of freedom, what might you pack? Well,
quite a lot. Several changes of clothes, life support items, emergency items.
Yes, and my life support,
toiletries.
My life support items was the tiniest of first aid kits, a Walkman with replacement batteries.
Yes, the essential.
Yes. A couple of cassettes like the Rolling Stones and maybe Tracy Chapman. I don't know. Can't remember now. Rolling Stones was definitely there.
Did you?
I didn't have a fast car, no. A makeup bag, and then I had a couple of scarves and maybe 3 changes of clothes.
Right.
And I didn't pack a sleeping bag. I didn't. I didn't have. I think I had a rape alarm.
At that age, you're not planning to sleep, though, are you?
No, I literally had nothing. And I had a pad and a paper, envelopes, and some stamps, which wouldn't have worked because they were British stamps, and I was going to be in France.
Yeah.
So I didn't.
If I was a parent and I'd seen that you'd put British stamps in your. I would be thinking, this is not going well. But at least when you got to customs and say, did you pack this bag yourself? You were able to say, yes, I did.
Yeah. So
with the 7 things.
Bless him. I said goodbye to my family, and my mum, and my dad drove me to Dover, which wasn't too far, and I got the ferry from England to France. His last words were to me, why can't you be normal? I mean, he did say like, have a great time, and if you get into trouble, let us know, and blah blah blah.
As a father myself, I really feel for him, and probably how he wiped a tear from his face as he drove away, having dropped you off.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, as a parent now, I feel so much for them. My dad, when he said, "Why can't you be normal?" I think that was under his breath, but I really felt that.
He thought he'd said it inside his head, but it came out.
But anyway, like the bit of the story that I'm getting to is like I got to France, and then I had my oh my god, what the hell have I done moment, and I got a map of France out, and and I had a pendulum.
Thank goodness for that.
I had a necklace with a gem on.
Okay. Like 1 minute, it's like your parents are hearing this. Oh, she's got a map. Fantastic. At least she knows where she's going. Where's she going? Oh, she's getting a pendulum out. Oh god. What could possibly go wrong?
So I was at Calais train station or something, not knowing what the hell to do, and I got I used divination to find where I was going to go in France, and it settled in this area that I did loosely know. And so I thought, right, okay,
you'd been there on holiday, had you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
retracing your steps.
and so that was it. I knew where I was going to go. And then I heard this poem in my head, and it was like, wherever you go, whatever you do, we'll be there. We'll look after you. And it was in my grandfather's voice. And then I remembered.
Wonderful.
Then I remembered the night before I'd had this dream when my granddad had come through. He's obviously long past, and that's what I'd woken up with, that feeling that I was completely protected. And it was really, really easy. Like I sat down at the station, some guy came up to me, funnily enough, called Guy, a British guy who traveled around France a lot.
Well,
he was Guy. Oh, okay. And he said, well, look, if you get your train later on today, the ticket price will be cheaper. Cool. So I had all these little angels showing up and helping me get down there.
That's so weird, because I was listening to a video about angels, a guy talking to a woman about, whenever I see a YouTube video, massive changes 2025, okay, have a look at that. And she's talking about angelic communication. And it's funny you should say that, because I was thinking your grandfather might have sent a message to your nan the night before, like a little message, and she's going, what?
Give Louisa
get some money. Put 150 quid on the mantelpiece. Why? Don't worry about why. You'll find out why later on.
Maybe. I mean, you just don't know.
You don't know. You do not know. Yeah. And it might, it might not have been in words. It might have just been an inkling.
Yeah.
That there's working in the old web, because that's the pre-existing web, isn't it? The internet, the World Wide Web, has been born into our cosmic web, of course, hasn't it? With all of that communication going on. But we don't like that kind of communication. We prefer it with, we prefer electricity and machines and programming and stuff like that. Because then it's real, isn't it? It's real when you can do it like this. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
So anyway, I made my way down to this area, and I was feeling kind of confident. Like I got lots of little signs along the way. And I was obviously well into that kind of way of being naturally like that. That was way before The Secret came out, though I might have already looked at the Shakti Gawain book about creative manifestation in my teens. So I arrive and I'm on this campsite, and I think, okay, I'm going to go and sit and have a coffee in the bar. And then while I was in the bar, there was these couple of reps, and I heard them saying, what are we going to do? We've lost an employee. Like we need a new person. And so there I was.
Can I play the part of Grandad again?
Go on,
girl, get over there.
He never spoke like that.
Did he not?
No.
In my mind, you see, that's how it.
He's like Sid James from Carry On films.
Carry on, Grandad. Go on, girl, get over there. See, but he didn't actually speak like that.
No, though he did look a bit like him. Actually,
in the movie, he's going to be speaking.
Okay. So So anyway, as luck would have it, they said, yeah, sure, you can come and work for us on a trial.
Yeah, it was definitely the 80s, wasn't it? Because it wasn't a massive.
No,
you didn't have a trip to corporate.
It was 90s actually.
Yeah, okay, but even so, you didn't have to go through a rigorous selection process.
No, I was given 3 weeks work before their boss turned up. But the great thing is, they had a free tent because somebody left a bit early to go to a funeral. So I was living on my own in this tent.
That sounds like a cursed tent, but anyway.
Well, so I had a tent. Loads of people left food behind on this campsite, so I had food. And so every one of my needs was really provided for. And so that moment that your meditation, I popped into.
Did that all spawn from that?
Yeah, well, after, once I'd arrived at this place, put my stuff in, had food, had a bed, I went and laid on the beach just off the side of the campsite. And I was lying there in the sun, probably burning actually, given my skin. But I was lying there feeling hot and sweaty. And I just felt so relaxed and calm and positive, and I felt like absolute freedom.
Were you back on that energy?
That's where I went back to.
Do you know what?
That's the end of the story.
Yes, all of this to say,
meditation or taking a moment can take you off to any kind of resourceful place you want, can't it?
The strict and stern and judgmental meditation teacher might say, well, this is a great example of what happens and why you need to meditate, because you go off on massive journeys like that, your mind gets triggered hither and thither.
Yeah.
However, on looking at it another way, to I think you said I was inviting people to, be in their bodies.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely true. It's, and with no promised outcome or anything. I just think it's a good idea to try being in your body without too much extra synapse firing sort of activity. Because we do that all day, don't we? We just have a bit of a rest. And alternatively,
like as in the words of Sarah from yesterday, stop.
Just stop.
just stop.
Yeah,
if you don't know what we're talking about, that's like yesterday's show when we had amazing Sarah on.
Yeah. Well, but just to say that in coming into the body, and I think you used an expression to suggest that by coming into the body you would get this result. And I'm not being critical. It's just to illustrate a point. By the mere fact of being in the body, that can be intrinsically valuable. It's not an in order to necessarily. It's a beautiful thing being alive in your body, I think, in its own right. And it has an energy about it which seemed to resonate with the very same energy in a different time and space with the one you were enjoying on the beach that day. Isn't that a wonderful thing? That's like time travel. That's like energetic realization, manifestation, isn't it? It's just absolutely wonderful what we have at our fingertips, in terms of our consciousness.
Like we can go anywhere we want to with the power of our mind. You know, I've been doing a little bit of tuning in with my womb recently, and going kind of hanging out in there. Because we've got all these resources that we can create for ourselves. So I've been in there and just noticing that I could feel nourished, and noticing I can put my focus anywhere I want to, and so I just think the more we can create our life in our imagination, that's actually where you can find peace. The world can seem quite chaotic sometimes. So sometimes I just tune right out.
Very good. You are watching or listening to The Moment with the Munsons, the show on New Reality TV, where you are likely to hear people saying, I was just tuning into my womb the other day. I've been hanging out with my bladder and my knees as well. True story.
Really?
So and no one's going to bat an eyelid if you say things like that. I thanked my knees this morning, because it's easy, isn't it, with the cronkier parts of the body to think, oh, there we go, it's creaking and crunching again. And I just thought, wow, no wonder these knees are a bit creaky and crunchy. They've done so much for me over decades. Thank you. Thank you. What can I do for you now instead of moan about you? Same with my bladder. I was so proud of my bladder this morning.
Really?
Because I was thinking to myself, I need to get up like you do in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, this bit of technology here, this biotech, has taken care of business while I've been asleep. Isn't that a miracle? Isn't that a wonderful thing?
Yeah.
So
so you were feeling
tuning
gratitude.
into my waters.
You were feeling gratitude that you hadn't peed yourself. That you knew how to.
I mean, that's one way of putting it. But
I'm grateful that you didn't.
Yeah, and I am not for one moment. Look, I'm surrounded by women in this chat, in this show, and I mean, for that reason alone, there is no way I would knock womb healing. Absolutely not. And Chloe is here as well.
Hey, Chloe, how are you?
Chloe, I'm sorry you tuned in after all these years to hear me talking about my bladder
and your wobbly knees
and my wobbly knees. But yes, we'd love you too.
Yeah, we love you.
Devon. Yeah, and quite a lot's changed, it not, since we last were connected. So lots of love to you, please, and the whole family in Devon.
Yes.
Please say you saw us.
And your mum, isn't she turning a big number soon?
She must be 22 or 3, I think now.
Yeah,
isn't she? Right.
So let's go back to some of these comments, because we've got lots.
Well, we've got about 7 minutes to go.
Okay.
And there's a very important message from Donna Marie and a very important question I had to ask. We might. Can I do it in that order? Because you've also got some lovely feedback, haven't you, to share?
Yeah, definitely.
Let me pop this on the screen by way of a little conversational starter, something to take into the day. This was a big message I got, or something that emerged for me yesterday after talking to Sarah. Why are we here? Now, as I posted on Facebook earlier, I'll just do a very brief thing.
Okay.
I posted this on Facebook. Why am I here? And not the platform, not Facebook. Why are we here in life at all? And what was coming up was like, I am here to find out who I am. I don't know if you agree with that. I don't know if you find that useful, but it's a question we can pick up and run with, right? Maybe
should we do that on Friday?
Okay, so let me just seed that there then.
Why are we here?
Why are we here? We're not afraid to ask the absolute biggest of questions here on the moment with the Munsons. And
that's definitely something I've been thinking my whole life.
Yeah, well, right. And why wouldn't you? I mean, it just seems the most obvious
like,
thing to me.
What is the point of life?
Exactly.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, and a morning routine is really important. Thanks, Marie, for this. If my mornings are not good, my day generally follows suit. Yoga, breathing, in the moment. Oh, thanks. We're part of the morning routine. That is fantastic.
It's lovely, isn't it? She's laughing about the Walkman as well.
Yeah, absolutely right. That does date the story somewhat, doesn't it? Yeah. Was it cassettes, not CD?
It was definitely cassettes.
Oh my goodness, right, okay. And definitely not knocking womb healing. Yeah. Let me add that too. If anyone's doing prayers today, wombs, bladders and knees, pop it on the list. Accepting the body and breathing into the uncomfortable parts is healing. Yeah. I'm in my 60s. I have a lot of aches and pains, so this visualization helps by bathing in the breath. Oh, have some of that.
I love that. In fact, we've got some comments that people have left from the last couple of shows about breath.
Yes. Oh, thanks, Chloe. Close zone. Lots of love to you.
Doug is here, and also Solar.
Doug and Pete are also here. Yeah.
So let's just quickly go to Doug and Pete. So Doug is saying,
I was not gonna read this one out. Oh, there you go.
Is this extreme consciousness? I was connected to my bowel this morning. I blame the curry.
Yeah.
You know what?
On one level, yes,
it's true. I mean, we all have bladders and bottoms.
Yes.
Solar Life is saying Dover and Dartford are responsible for a large number of people never wanting to come back.
Thank you, gentlemen, for bringing us right back down to earth.
Yeah, and I particularly like this comment as well. Grandpa will take care of you every day through the angels. And my grandmother now as well. So aren't they beautiful? And Donna saying, sounds like you've been aware of your guides from a very early age, Louisa. It's true. And I don't call on them enough. That's the crazy thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And that's another They are probably shouting, are they not?
I imagine so.
Do you want another 150 quid? All you have to do is listen.
That'd be great. So we've also got a couple of comments. So from the Monday show with Tom Evans, Mother Mulberry says, sometimes I literally have to remind myself to breathe, exactly as written in the book Cliche. Now, I don't know that book. If you know that book, let us know what it's about.
It's probably a book called All You Have to Do Is Breathe, right? which would make complete sense.
Yeah. And then Black Moon Jesus replied and said, we've been taught not to breathe because they knew we were breathing God. The field is God, air is God, breath is God. So that, I think, is another potential topic.
We know it, don't
we? We
know it. You remember when you're back of the car, and
like,
probably
what
in the
is
80s
God?
Or 70s, breathe that in, kids, and you're driving past a farm. But everyone knows, no, seriously, everyone knows that what you breathe in changes you. So why not make it? Why not make it mean the universe, God, the greatest expanded awareness that you can relate to? Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. So like, what is God might be another thing that we do. Fog Slap in relation to Sarah's show yesterday says, Sarah's awesome. We sure do miss her back in Canada. She's a natural at whatever she puts her mind to. Yeah, she
Thanks,
really
Fog
is.
Slap.
Yeah, thank you. Your loss is our gain.
That sounds like a little village in Canada, doesn't it?
I'm so sorry that you've lost her.
Yeah, we're so glad to have her, though.
Yeah, we really are. And Black Moon Jesus also said, all the wisdom of woman in Sarah's words. Absolutely. Missed you guys yesterday. Thank you for your presence. You're a clear, beautiful vibration that uplifts my day. Thank you so much.
Very nice.
That's so lovely. Yeah. And last of all, we've got a soul Dala from Siri. So thank you so much, Siri.
She writes your name a little bit like you do. You're right.
That's true, actually.
Is she a left-hander, maybe?
She might be. We'll have to ask her when we have her on the show.
And that's beautiful. Thank you so much. That picture of us there, the Soul Dala, and Siri, of course, doing a show on New Reality TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got to go soon, haven't we?
Yeah, we do. What final thoughts have you got?
I'm just staring at the Soul Dala from Siri there. That's absolutely lovely.
So what are you picking up from the Soul Dala?
I love how we're joined at the hip. Literally, aren't we? There, the two of us.
I mean,
I'm singing
we're like conjoint twins, aren't we?
We are cosmic conjoinment.
The weird thing is, like, we met and moved straight in with each other, like the same day.
Does that represent my house in Exeter?
Maybe.
Right there where we moved in.
I mean, we've been by each other's side pretty much continuously.
We're holding each other and pushing out, and I love how
we're
the
also
colours.
Pushing each other.
Yeah, we are. That's just like here this morning. And the energy is going out, isn't it? So we need to go. Thank you so much. Take care. Thank you all for being here. We'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.
Lots of love.